Hello everyone, welcome back to Namma LaEx Bengaluru presents current issue of the day, episode number 136. In this episode, we will be discussing a very important Operation Sindhu. Okay, what is this Operation Sindhu? And also we will discuss similar operations conducted by the government of India in the recent times. This is very important, especially from the UPSC prelims perspective, but also can be used as pointers in your international relations or internal security answers in your mains. Okay, so we'll understand why it is in news, what is Operation Sindhu, evacuation and humanitarian operations of the government of India, and also different military operations and their code names, and also we'll discuss a previous year question. So in syllabus, it comes under GS3 Internal Security and Disaster Management capabilities of the Government of India and the NDRF, and then in GS2 in the international relations. In international relations, it comes under diplomatic relations between the Indian government and different countries associated in evacuation operations. Okay, so context. The context is that India recently announced Operation Sindhu to evacuate Indian nationals from Iran. Okay, from Iran, as fears of an all-out Israeli-American military strike on Iran is increasing. Okay, so we already know that Iran and Israel are going head-to-head with the recent tweets by the President Donald Trump saying that he is going to go all out on Iran. The escalations between Iran versus Israel is increasing. Okay, as a result, it is going to result in an all-out war, and the nationals of Indians who are staying in Iran have a threat to their life. India is a welfare country. As a global leader in welfareism, India is picking up this Operation Sindhu to evacuate its nationals. Okay, so this was launched by the government of India to evacuate Indian nationals from the Iran in view of deterring situations as a result of ongoing conflict. Okay, and more than 10,000 Indian nationals are currently living in Iran with around 6,000 students. Okay, so for higher studies, Indians are going to Iran. Okay, I don't know which course they are pursuing there, but students from India are found in all over the world. Okay, then in the first leg of the operation, 110 Indian students from northern Iran were successfully evacuated and transported by road to Yerevan in Armenia. This is a very key point. Okay, this is a very key point. Yerevan in Armenia. Okay, so they were not carried away to India. Instead, they were transported to Yerevan. From there, they were transported to India back again. Okay, under the supervision of Indian missions in Iran and Armenia. Okay, this point shows the significance of growing relations between India and the country of Armenia. Okay, the country of Armenia has been in news recently, mainly because of its conflict with its neighboring country. Okay, that is Armenia is going head to head with another country, that is Azerbaijan. Okay, Azerbaijan is famous for its capital city Baku. This Baku is famous for recent conference of parties to the UNFCCC was held there, so that is why it's important. And the capital of Armenia is Yerevan. Okay, these countries are going head to head in recent years, mainly for a territory called as Nagorno-Karabakh. Okay, Nagorno-Karabakh. Okay, you might ask, why is it important for us? It is important for us because the very name of Nagorno-Karabakh was recently asked in UPSC prelims in 2024. Okay, And also, in growing tensions between India and Pakistan, these countries took sides. Okay, Azerbaijan along with Turkey and Malaysia took the side of Pakistan. Since Azerbaijan is taking the side of Pakistan, India decided to up its relations with its arch nemesis, that is Armenia. And similarly, Turkey decided to take stand with Azerbaijan and Pakistan. So what India is doing is, India is taking stand with its arch nemesis, that is Greece and Cyprus. Recently, Prime Minister Modi visited Cyprus, and from there he went to France. Okay, this shows a positive diplomacy of the Indian government. Okay, if you are going to go against India, then we are going to go against you. We are going to give importance to the countries which are an enemy of you, because as an old saying says that an enemy of an enemy is a friend in need. That is what Armenia, Greece, Cyprus are to India at the moment. Okay, now going back to the present discussion. So they are taken to the Yerevan, Armenia. From there they will be taken back to India. Then, so to oversee the support, the operation, government has established a 24/7 control room in New Delhi to monitor the situation and provide assistance to the affected nationals. Okay, not very significant, but just the news. And also, the embassy of India in Tehran is the capital city of Iran, has set up its 24/7 emergency helpline to assist citizens on the ground. Okay, this is a very simple topic, that is Operation Sindhu, evacuation of Indian nationals from Iran because the war is going on, from Iran to Armenia, from there to India. This ends our current issue of the day, that is the current affairs. Now we will see what are the different operations, both humanitarian, both disaster management, both relief as well as military operations of India in the recent years. We'll try to understand this. So the recent humanitarian and evacuation operations of India, the first operation which is very significant is Operation Rahat. Okay, Operation Rahat. It was the rescue during Uttarakhand flash floods. Okay, need to know why the operation was conducted. Not every operation has to be evacuation only. In this case, it is a humanitarian disaster management operation. Okay, outcome was that Indian Army and Air Force rescued over 2000 stranded civilians. Okay, significance is that it showcased coordination of civil and military efforts in disaster relief. Okay, and then there is Operation Maitri, which was conducted in 2015. This is post earthquake relief, not in India but in Nepal. Okay, in Nepal. The outcome was that the massive Indian relief deployment rescued over 4,500 Indians as well as foreign nationals from this earthquake. Significance is, again, it reflected India's strong neighborhood first policy as well as significance of India's soft power in the neighboring countries. This point you can use if there is a question on India and Nepal relations, or if there is a question on India's neighborhood first policy. Okay, this can be your fodder points. Then next one is Operation Rahat. Operation Rahat was related to evacuation of Indians from the war-torn Yemen country. Okay, Yemen is going through a civil war crisis. So to evacuate Indians from this area, Operation Rahat was carried out by the government of India. Outcome was 4,600 Indians as well as 960 foreign nationals were evacuated. Okay, so India is not only showcasing its status as a welfare country, but also it is showcasing its status as a responsible country. Okay, then significance is that India's global rescue ability was signified, praised by United Nations and foreign governments as well. Okay, then Operation Sankat Mochan in 2016. Sankat Mochan Operation 2016. This operation was carried out in 2016 in South Sudan. Sudan is an African country where there is a civil war going on between North and South Sudan. So, in order to rescue Indians from the Sudan, this operation was carried out. The outcome was 156 Indians were evacuated. Significance, it showcased rapid airlift capability of India in Africa. Okay, then other operations include Vande Bharat mission during 2020 and 21 during the COVID-19 crisis. Outcome was one of the world's largest repatriation efforts. Over 70 lakh Indians were brought back. Okay, you might remember when there was a COVID-19 outbreak, when it resulted into pandemic, many of the nationals were forced to go back or forced to flee back to their countries. In that case, India took up Vande Bharat mission and made more than 70 lakh Indians come back to India. Okay, India's diaspora commitment and diplomatic engagement was signified during this effort. Then there is Operation Ganga. It was in context of evacuation of Indian nationals during the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, during the Russia-Ukraine war. Over 20,000 students and citizens were brought back. It showcased strong coordination with the neighboring countries like Poland, Romania, and Hungary. Similar to what happened in Iran. In the case of Iran, people were transported from Iran to Armenia. Similarly, people of India were transported from Ukraine to neighboring countries. From there to they were airlifted back to India. Okay. Then next is Operation Kaveri. Operation Kaveri was carried out in 2022. It was an evacuation operation from the conflicted Sudan. Over 3,800 Indians were rescued in this area. Signified use of Djibouti, okay, Djibouti as a transit base, and also it signified India's military civil strategy. So during this Operation Kaveri, there was a tribe called as Hakki Pikki tribe, which is a tribe from Karnataka who were stranded in Sudan, were successfully rescued from Sudan. So these are some of the evacuation and humanitarian operations. Along with this, we'll also see certain military operations conducted by India in the past as well. So important operations or military operations of the government of India in recent times are, first one is Operation Vijay, which was conducted in 1971. It was for the liberation of Goa and Daman and Diu from the Portuguese. Okay, so the outcome was a very successful operation because Portuguese finally accepted their defeat and went back to their country, and Goa and Daman and Diu were incorporated into the Indian Union. Okay, and then there was Operation Meghdut in 1984. This was a preemptive military action to capture Siachen Glacier. Okay, Siachen Glacier is a strategic point between India and Pakistan in the line of actual control. So there was a military race between both India and Pakistan to capture this glacier. So this was a preemptive military action to capture Siachen Glacier. As a result, India still holds Siachen Glacier with it. Then there was Operation Blue Star, a very infamous operation in the history of India, a very dark phase. This was an anti-militant operation by the Indian military. The place it took place was infamously the Golden Temple, which is a holy place of the Sikh community. This was taken by military action in order to execute Bhindranwale, who was considered as the chief most Khalistani terrorist. He was executed, but the action of the Golden Temple and the entry of Indian soldiers in the Golden Temple with their boots and the bloodshed later on resulted in a kind of bad blood between the Sikh community and the government of India. it later resulted in the death of Indira Gandhi or assassination of Indira Gandhi by her own bodyguards who were belonging to Sikh community, which later resulted into anti-Sikh riots, which is again a reason for the emergence of Khalistani movement at the present. Okay, so very significant event in Indian history. Then there was Operation Vijay, another Operation Vijay, that was in 1999. It was nothing but Kargil war, which resulted in obviously the victory of Indian government or Indian forces, which were able to send the Pakistani military and the militants back from the Kargil and resulted in the occupation of Kargil back into India. And then there is Operation Parakram. It was during the period of 2001 to 2002. There was a terrorist attack on the Indian Parliament by the Pakistanis, and this Operation Parakram was a reaction to this terrorist attack. The aim was to bring troop mobilization in response to Parliament attack. They wanted to bring troops in response to Parliament attack, and they wanted to attack on Pakistan. But the sad reality was that it showcased shortcomings of the Indian forces and the mobilization of Indian forces. As a result, India is going for theaterization of forces. Okay, because of this reason, India is going for theaterization of forces, where forces from both military, army, navy, and air forces can be brought together under single command, and from there they can be led by a common leader. So, and then after this there is surgical strikes, which was again a response to Uri attack by the Pakistani terrorist. And then there was Balakot airstrike, which was again a response to Pulwama attack by the Pakistani terrorist. And the most recent was Operation Sindhu, which was a response to Palgham attack by the Pakistani terrorist, which resulted in the death of nearly 25 to 30 Indian nationals. So these are the important military and humanitarian and evacuation operations conducted by the Indian government. So this is very important. This can be asked in prelims, and you can also use this in your essay, ethics, or in your GS answers as well. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on the video, and also share with your friends. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.